Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Marketing, Branding, and Getting the Sales Show. Have you ever been in front of a prospective client and they've thrown something at you and you have just not known how to respond? Well, don't worry, we have got you covered. Today we were talking all about how to confidently deal with sales objections. So before we get into that, a couple of things. One, next week is going to be our year in review. It's going to be our final live for this year. And we thought it'd be good to take a look back at what have been our biggest lessons over the year, what have been our biggest accomplishments. And we invite you to do the same. So join us same time next week. And we want to hear from you in terms of what have been your biggest lessons and your biggest accomplishments, and what have you learned? So, and we can all have a fantastic Learn Fest together. Right, well, before we dive into today's topics, we're going to do some quick introductions. So, Stephen, over to you.
Good morning, everybody, and it's a beautiful morning here in sunny but cold North Wales. My name's Stephen Lerman from Chameleon BDS, Outsourced Business Development Service. If you're looking to grow your business but don't like picking up the phone, don't want to pick up the phone because you've not got the time or just don't have the resource to do it internally, then I'm the man to help you. I can help you by generating qualified leads and getting you in front of prospective clients and helping you to grow your business.
Great, thank you, Stephen. Jess.
Good morning, everyone. So I work with businesses to grow their revenue and their reputation through strategy and design. So do that through making sure they've got a fully functioning brand, because your logo is only 16% of your brand. So I've got a 6-step process that I work with my clients through to make sure that they've got everything in place. I do have a guide that's got 5 hacks to making sure you've got a profitable brand and you're getting more loyalty within your brand as well. So I'll pop that in the comments too for those of you that are interested in learning a little bit more.
Great, thank you, Jess. And if you don't know me yet, my name is Una Doyle. I'm a business strategist and coach, and my business is called Creative Flow. And I love to help business owners to be able to grow their businesses, to get them to be in the position where they could sell their business tomorrow, but they probably don't want to. 1, because it's highly profitable. 2, because they and team members are in Creative Flow. And 3, because they get to make a bigger impact in the world. Now, when it comes to scaling, a lot of companies, they find that they get so far and then they get stuck. So I have got a free video for you called the 3 real reasons why you're not scaling as fast or profitably as you want. I'll pop that in the comments for you. So make sure to check that out after the show. All right, so let's dive into today's topic, how to confidently deal with sales objections. Stephen,
Yes.
over to you.
Okay, so I'm assuming we all know what objection handling is. So, but if you don't, here it is in a concise couple of sentences. Objection handling is basically when a salesperson responds to concerns that a prospective client has. Okay, it's a natural part of the sales process and requires a salesperson to fill gaps in the customer's knowledge and guide them into a position where they are ready to make that purchase. So the question is why is objection handling in sales important? And it's important because being able to handle objections effectively can really determine whether a call succeeds or fails, right? Because if you don't answer a prospect's objections, then they're simply going to walk away. Okay, they want to know that they're being heard, listened to, and understood. But the key to learning how to do this is without seeming confrontational. So it really shouldn't involve pressurizing that person to commit one way or the other, or arguing with
Stephen,
that person.
can I just pause you there? So weirdly enough, because we were hearing you absolutely fine, even in your intro, I could hear you quite well. But suddenly the signal seems to have dropped a bit, and we're losing some words, and it's not very loud. But I'm just actually wondering, do you want to just wiggle your connections and see wires like, is it, I wonder, is this like something's just come loose?
Can you hear me now?
No.
How's that?
No. Oh, now I can.
Now, yes.
And now I can't.
Oh, let me just double check. How about if
Okay, now I'm hearing you clearly.
Better.
I think
there's a huge delay as well, isn't there?
with the video, but I can hear you okay. Can you hear Jess? Apologies, folks.
I can hear you guys perfectly.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can. You're just a little bit quiet and really delayed, but we
Just-
can hear
You
you.
know what? Do you want to come out and then come back in? And
Sure.
sometimes that fixes things, doesn't it?
All right. 2 ticks. I'll be right back.
Yeah. So Stephen will be back in a moment. Jess and I will talk amongst ourselves. and
It's strange how it can be just work perfectly fine, and then all of a sudden something
isn't it? It's like
come out of place.
Stephen, and then it comes back. So anyway, he has come back. So let's just see.
How's that?
That's better. Yay! Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you everyone for your patience, and good morning to Chris as well. Yes, we're all back.
Okay. So where did you hear me from? Did you hear anything?
Do you know what? Why don't you start again?
Yeah.
It was a
Okay.
bit. Yeah, we're not sure exactly when.
Okay. So question number 1: what is objection handling? Okay. So really, objection handling, in a nutshell, is basically how a salesperson responds to the concerns that a prospective employee, a prospective client might have. It's a natural part of the sales process, and basically just requires the salesperson to fill in the gaps in the customer knowledge that will help them to determine whether they're ready to make that purchase. Okay, so objection handling is super important.
Stephen, can I just apologize? Jess, are you hearing this clearly? It's like there's a crackle. Do you know what? Do you want to try unplugging your mic and just see if that works? No, I'm not hearing anything now. You might need to change your settings. Apologies, but there's that crackling, and I don't know about you, but that was like really bugging my ears.
No, we can't hear you at all.
I can't hear you at all. It's weird because like when you kind of came back on, I could hear you clearly, and then as soon as you launched into what you were doing, it went all crackly again. Right,
we even have a period before we go live where we do sound check.
I know. Yeah, exactly. we go live at 8 o'clock in the morning, but we're actually here from 1:45, and we do sound checks to make sure everything's working before we go on. Anyway, Stephen is back. Let's just try again. No, we can't hear you, Stephen.
I see Becky's joining us as well.
Good morning, Becky. Becky's joining us from Facebook. So, well, let's just, while Stephen's sorting that out, Jess, what's like one of the most common objections that you come up against in your sales?
I do have to do a bit of work for my own sales. So there's a lot of hurdles that kind of come up for me because it's not in my natural flow. You know, I enjoy talking to people, but it's getting the right things across, I think. Go on, Stephen. Oh, is he going on?
He's going to pop off and come back in again.
Yeah. So even something I'm working on now is I'm re-looking at my my sales conversations and looking, right, okay, am I getting across what I want to get across? You know, am I really listening? You know, am I really kind of coming up with solutions? What is it that I can improve? Because I think that was something that Stephen recommended a few months ago when we did an live, didn't we? On just looking back at your own sales call, listening to yourself, looking at yourself, and seeing, okay, you know, what can I be missing during these conversations? Because you can when you're having them.
Yeah. So very true. Yeah, and I think what's going to happen a lot going forward is that, you know, people are being a bit more sensitive about what they're investing in. So I think you know, we need to be able to handle that. Excuse me.
Can anybody hear me now?
Yes.
Is that better?
Yeah, just talk a bit more and I'll mute myself.
Oh, it's fine. Okay, so I don't know how much you heard of me the first 2 times. I did a couple of questions, but I don't want to bore anybody by repeating them again. But I'm hopefully we've got this sound fixed now. No delay. Everyone can hear me. Brilliant. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So we can start with why objection handling is important. I think it was the last thing I started to say. Okay, so it's really important because if you can handle objections effectively, it can determine whether the call is going to succeed or fail. And if you don't answer a prospect's objections sufficiently, then there's a strong chance that they're going to simply walk away. But the key to doing this, or learning how to do this, is so that you're not being confrontational. It shouldn't involve.
I know. I really apologize for saying this, but exactly the same thing is just happening again. It seems to be you can talk for a minute or so, and then it goes into the crackliness, and
Wow.
it's just too hard for people to listen to. I know what
See, I can hear you guys perfectly.
It's crackly, and it must be your Welsh connection, I'm afraid. Maybe you don't have the same bandwidth there that you have in your normal location.
Not this way.
Okay, well, okay, try talking. Just carry on from where you were, and let's give it another minute or two and see how it gets on.
Okay, so the key to learning how to handle objections is to do it without being confrontational. Okay, so it really shouldn't involve pressuring the prospect or arguing.
Yeah, Stephen, you're just starting to sound like a Dalek now.
Apologies. So sorry, I can hear you guys perfectly.
I know.
Perfectly.
Okay, here's what I suggest we do. Here's what I suggest we do is record a video, okay, and send me the video, and I will stream it out.
I'm really sorry, guys. I've been on Zoom all day yesterday, and it was working perfectly. So I've been on Teams. I've had no problems. The Welsh gods are having, making fun of me today.
It's really so crazy because I can hear you perfectly now, but as soon as you start getting into sales mode and start talking about sales stuff, it goes all like wibbly.
So Becky's just commented, could it be the speed that you're talking?
Speed comes to talk a bit slower.
Oh.
But no, I don't think so, because, well, I know, try talking more slowly for a moment, and let's just see.
Okay, so if you're handling objections, you want to do it without being confrontational. There should be pressurizing the person to say yes or no, or arguing with them. But really, what you want to be doing is building trust, and you do that by listening and asking the right questions, so that the prospect forms a more favorable opinion of the product that you're trying to sell them on their own. How does that sound?
So Becky's just put maybe not, and a laughing emoji. Helen's saying you can hear you okay now, but I don't know if that was before it started going crackly again. Yeah, the trouble is that audio is one of those things that if people can't hear you clearly, it's just people won't watch a video or listen to an audio.
I appreciate that, and I'm really sorry. It's been great.
Yeah. It's not your fault. Like, as you say, it's not like you haven't tested things out. You've tested them over the last few days. We tested them this morning, and it was all fine. So I'm not sure what's going on, but clearly this is not meant to happen in this way. So there we go. I think at this point, why don't you pop it into a video, and then I'll set it to go live and to stream out so that everybody can catch that. And I think that's probably going to be what we can do, really. So, folks, if you have any questions around sales objections, please pop them into the chat below, and we will do our best to make sure that those are answered for you. Stephen can come back and answer questions in the chat
Absolutely.
as well. Okay, well,
I suppose this is a really good opportunity for anyone that, you know, if you had anything you wanted to hear today, or even anything that we've said so far, you've got a question on, asking it now. And then before Stephen can record his video, he can answer it actually on the video for you, so you're not then waiting for replies.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great idea, Jess. Absolutely. Yeah, happy to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
I've got 7 tips that I'm just I was looking forward to sharing this morning as well.
Yeah, I know. Well, just you know, just do it as a video, and then I'll stream it out from my connection here, and then that should work okay. So at least our community is getting the tips that we promised them.
Yes, indeed.
And because you're just recording a video as opposed to live streaming it, then it should be okay signal wise.
Perfect.
So yeah. All right, I guess that's us for today. And this is, you know, the trials and tribulations of doing stuff live.
Never work with animals, children, and people in Wales. For all our Welsh, Welsh fans. No, it's the connection. I'm sure it is. It's been perfect. So I'm really surprised.
Maybe it's the weather. It's just got so cold that it's freezing some of the wires or something. Who knows?
Apologies. Sincere apologies, folks. Honestly, I'll get the video out and get it to you, Una, and then you can stream it. Perfect.
That's grand. Okay, no problem. So, what questions do you have around sales objections? Pop them into the chat and into the comments, and we'll make sure that they get answered for you. And so we will do how to confidently deal with sales objections, part 2, later on today. So yeah, fantastic. Okay, well, thank you for joining us anyway, and we will be here same time next week, hopefully with a with a working signal for all 3 of us. And we're going to be diving into a year in review. So what have been the highlights? What have been the lowlights? What have been the lessons that you've learned? So we'll get that scheduled, and we want to hear from you in terms of you know, any questions you have, thoughts you have. If you can, come and join us live and get involved in the conversation. Okay, we will say bye for now. Have a great day.
Amazing. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.